Okay, sorry. So fast forward as I'm learning about these gut health products, I went to this training to learn more about why they were so good, why I had had such a great experience with them. And I sat there and listened to person after person talking about different diagnoses that they had been given through the medical community, healing from them and coming off of their medications or at least decreasing their medications. And I'm talking diagnoses that in the medical world, we don't hear of people coming off of their medicines, like thyroid issues, thyroid and autoimmune stuff. All things that as the medical community, we know is to medicate them. There's no quote unquote cure for that. And I literally was hearing testimonies of people who have either been able to decrease their medicine or completely come off of it because their body had healed itself. And my mind was shocked. I was wondering what the heck was in this stuff to make it so good. And to make it like I felt like I found something that every single person needed to have. And so I really started digging into it. So I'm going to take you on a little bit of that journey with me and kind of give you some education that I personally, as a nurse, felt was super helpful. Now, keep in mind, I'm a nurse. I'm not a tech savvy person who has fancy little what's the word? Slideshows for you to go through here. So you get to go through my phone with me. But I want you to see this real quick. So this is a list of symptoms that are connected to your gut. And so I'd ask you guys to look over those symptoms and determine how many of those symptoms you suffer with. Because I know even somebody who was a quote unquote fairly healthy person, I had way too many of those that I could actually answer. And I was shocked to know that it was related to my gut. This is one of those graphics that I saw that I was like, holy moly, like I had no idea my headaches were related to my gut. My friend who actually introduced me to the products, her body healed from stage 4 endometriosis in 7 months. And that is with a clinical diagnosis reversal, going to her obstetrician and having a pap smear and saying, we don't see any lesions, and her coming off of her medication for it. Like, who would have ever thought that comes from your gut? Like, now I look at it and I'm like, oh man, I could totally see how that's connected. And the reason for that is because I have since learned in the last almost 2 years of really digging into gut health, that our bodies are almost more microbiome than they are anything else in our bodies. So we have your microbiome starts in your rectum or in your vagina. It goes up into your ureters, your kidneys. It goes up into your colon, your intestines, your esophagus, your trachea, your mouth, your skin. So you literally, I mean, the skin is the biggest organ, but it is all microbiome. So if you think about if we take care of that part of us, it's no wonder it's connected to every other thing in our bodies, right? It just knowing that makes a lot of sense for me. I'm going to share this one with you too, because I feel like this was super helpful for me to know. When it comes to gut health, obviously probiotics is where we start. When I first started taking Plexus with just the energy stuff, one of Cassie's first questions to me was, do you take probiotics? And guys, I took a good probiotic. It was a good probiotic. I could tell it maybe a little bit more regular, but I had been on it for years. I still was on medication for my heartburn. I still had IBS symptoms. And when she asked me, she's like, can you tell that you take it? And I was like, well, maybe. I mean, it's more of a checkbox, because I take it because my doctor says I should take probiotics. And so knowing and understanding that if you are taking a probiotic and you've been taking one for years and your symptoms of your struggles with your gut aren't getting better, then it's not actually working for you was really very helpful to me. The other thing that I really like to focus on in this specific slide is where it says 70 to 90% of your immune system is located in your GI tract. If I were to tell you that like on another day and you don't have the understanding of what gut health, I mean, I feel like we could even look around and be like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, people are unhealthy all over the place, or they catch things all the time. I can almost guarantee we know people who are always sick, or their families are always sick. And that is a gut issue a lot of times. I will tell you, since me and my family, and when I say my family, I'm talking me, my husband, and all three of my children from the age of 5 on, take our gut health supplements. And the last couple years, this last year, nobody got sick, which was amazing. There was a couple sniffles, but if I got them on their supplements and increased their vitamin C and vitamin D, like it was over within a day or two, and nobody really missed much school with that. So it makes a big difference in our immune system. The other thing that gut health is related to that I had no idea was the fact that 90% of our serotonin levels are created in your gut. And so when you look around our world and you realize that a lot of people are on anxiety and depression medicine, and then you look at what we eat and how we take care of our bodies, maybe our lack of activity anymore, I feel like it makes a lot of sense. I'm like, oh my gosh, I could totally see how that is a problem. I volunteered last summer at a kids' middle school camp, and you guys, 80% of these kids were on anxiety and depression medication. That is a huge problem. So it's getting earlier and earlier that we start having these problems. And it's one of those things, as a parent, I want to pay very close attention to. And it's something that we have the ability to help, which I think is phenomenal. We have hope for those situations. I'm going to share this one here, and I'm going to talk a little bit about what it is that we take for our gut health. So this is a supplement. These are 3 supplements. The company has a regimen, and I will tell you that is one of the biggest reasons why I trust this company. I have taken supplements from other companies for many years. I have never met a supplement regimen that has helped to reverse people's diagnoses like I have with this supplement. The last year and a half, I've worked with over hundreds of people and helped them resolve multiple different issues with just this regimen right here. And what it includes is the ProBio 5, which is our probiotic, and I'll explain why that one's different than a lot of probiotics you'll get on the market or from other companies. The BioCleanse, which is a combination of magnesium, bioflavonoids, and citric acid peels. And what BioCleanse, it takes a really bad rap for its name. It is not like a cleanse. It takes a few days for you to really even start noticing it working, but it's important because it gets intracellular to help pull out bacteria and inflammation from the body. And then the last thing in our triplex system is called the Slim. And that's the one I was talking about earlier. There's 2 different forms of the Slim. There's a Slim microbiome activating, and then there's Slim hunger control, both of which are actually probiotics. And that's where I got it wrong for so many years. When I thought of the pink drink Slim as a weight loss thing, it was actually none of the sort. It's a prebiotic mixture. And so I was dumbfounded to find out it was prebiotics, but also relieved to know that it's prebiotics. So it's actually benefiting people's gut health. So you have your probiotic, and the one thing I really like to people to understand is the probiotic that we have is so very different in the way that it's made and some of the stuff that's in it than some of the probiotics that you'll find from other companies or from your health food stores like I was taking when I first started. Probiotics are so imperative to our guts, you guys, especially if you think about how we act in the sense of what we put in our bodies. Maybe not moving as much as we should, not getting as much sleep as we need. All of those different things really do come into play when it's talking about gut health. And it's just one of those things that even your doctor will tell you, you have to make sure that you're on a good probiotic. The reason ours is different is because I'm going to show you this, and hopefully this isn't breaking any big, what's the word, news to you. Hopefully you guys already know our bodies are comprised of bugs in our microbiome. Some people gross out about that, but it is very true. You have good bugs, which is your good bacteria, and you have bad bugs, which is your bad bacteria. The problem comes in when our bad bugs outweigh our good bugs, and that's what makes us sick. So this little guy here, he is a bad bug. He actually has, if you can see how he looks like a roach, he has a hard layer, and what he does is he feeds off of sugar and carbohydrates, basically, that we eat that turns into sugar when it goes through our system. So he loves sugar, and he loves it when we eat it. And what he actually does is he causes us to crave sugar when he starts to die. So inflammation and candida yeast in your system, when it starts to decrease and it starts to die off, because remember, we're talking about live bugs here, it actually craves sugar. And so you're not crazy when you have cravings. It is legitimate, and it is likely because your body is full of a lot of yeast. So don't think you're crazy. That's something that was so relieving to me to hear at one point, because I was like, okay, so the cravings, it's not because I'm not in control of my body. It's literally something that is, driving me to eat more sugar because it wants to be fed. Well, chitin is that hard coating. Our probiotic has a supplement in it called chitinase. And chitinase is one of the only things that will break apart that hard coating on those little bad bugs to be able to kill them and pull them out of our system. The other thing that is in our probiotics is probiotic enzymes, which is huge, so that it sits in our gut microbiome and it absorbs. The chitinase, whenever it attacks those yeast bugs, the BioCleanse is what goes in and flushes all of that out. And that is why a lot of people will see their diagnoses completely reversed, because they're addressing the root cause of the issue. And who would have known that a lot of our problems come from our gut because of gross little bugs like that? But I just find that's my nurse brain again, going really into the science. And I love it. The other thing I love is the fact that we have the doctors, the nutritionalists, the herbalists that all work together. And before they release anything, number one, the company never releases anything that's not gut microbiome related. So a lot of companies, specifically home-based business companies, they like to try to expand their network to try to hit every avenue. I come from the medical community. I said I'm a nurse, and I really appreciate it when doctors know better than to try to fix every single thing that a person has wrong with them. I love it when they specialize, or if they have a patient that has a specialty problem, they send them off to a specialty, because the person specializes in that for a reason, and they can help them with more up-to-date technology. Same thing with all your supplementation places you go, guys. If you have an issue with your gut, you should be buying supplements from a gut focused company. If you have issues with your kidneys, you should find someone that goes and specializes in the kidneys, right? So same thing. I love the fact that they really dig in, and when they're making these, before they release any type of supplements, they actually do their own market testing on them, and they do it for 6 months to a year before they even release it. So that spoke volumes to my nurse brain that likes to make sure we have clinical trials on things. But it's a phenomenal program that they have, and I really appreciate that. One of the other things that I wanted to talk about, because I want to make sure we're respecting your time here, and I want to make sure to give you guys time to ask questions if you have questions afterwards. Two things here. One of them is our reset box. This was another one that I wasn't quite sure if I was going to be all on board for, because I knew or I assumed people would really use it for weight loss. And it is a very fantastic way to lose some weight. But the biggest thing that we are seeing with the reset box is, I've been calling it the detox box, because it has actually, anytime, if you know anything about gut health, anytime you take a good gut health regimen that is fixing problems, you will inevitably go through some sort of detox. It is a good thing. It's not comfortable. It is only temporary, but it is a good thing, because that means that you are getting those toxins and inflammation out of your system. And what we've been seeing, the reset box is a 3-day nutritionally supported fast. And what it is it's 3 days where you take, and you actually, instead of eating food, you're taking nutrition and supplements for 3 days straight, getting a total of 70 grams of protein a day. So it's not depleting your muscles. but you're actually just literally feeding your body pure nutrition for 3 days straight. And we have seen significant decrease in detox when people start our triplex program if they've done the detox box first. So that's a really cool thing that we have. The other thing that we have that Sam has probably, I know you've probably seen some of her posts, or maybe she's talked to you about it, is we have a 30-day hard reset that's starting this weekend on Sunday. And we would love for you guys to do it with us. It's going to be amazing. So this was something that was my baby. If you've ever heard of this 75-day hard, 75 days to me was always really intimidating. And so I thought, you know what, if that's for me and I'm somebody who likes to work out and be active, I can't imagine somebody completely just starting a brand new health regimen and wanting to do 75 days. Like that was a lot for me. So we as a community in Plexus and in our team, we like to do challenges every month to try to help keep accountability going and keep people moving forward towards their health goals. And the 30-day hard is going to be super exciting in the sense that we're going to have daily check-ins. We're going to have weekly meal plans for everybody if they want to follow them. And they're healthy, family-friendly meals. We're going to have workouts provided for them on a fairly day or every couple day basis. But I want you to know that when I say workout, if you're somebody who hasn't done a lot of working out, just walking for 30 minutes a day, we are going to totally celebrate you because that's really important. Everybody has to start at their own pace. And that's what we want to see. But the biggest goal is really just making that goal and starting. Two things I'm going to end with here. And then I'll let you guys ask questions real quick here. But one of the first things I would be completely amiss if I didn't share this, because this has been something that has changed the life of myself. I know it's also changed Sam's life and many other of hundreds of people. But Plexus has an incredible, generous heart. Just much like if you guys were to shop at, I think Menards and Kohl's are the two ones that always come up for me. But when you shop there and you get money back to come back and use money, Plexus does a really cool referral program. So basically what you do is if you talk about it or if you share it, you have two options. You can get cash or you can get cash put onto your account and you can use it directly for products. But they're super generous, and it has been one of my biggest pleasures of figuring out how powerful these supplements were. I don't think I even finished telling you guys, when I started taking my gut supplements, it was 3 months before I was completely off of all medications I was taking for my gut struggles, as well as my heartburn medicine. So when I started seeing it working in myself, I knew that a lot of people had the same struggles. I mean, how many people struggle with heartburn, you guys? A lot of people struggle with heartburn. And I'm like, this is such a good thing. It showed me that my body needed them. And I knew when I started, just adding $50 a month to our family budget was not something that I could do. And so I knew I wanted to talk to people about it because I needed my products paid for. Plexus has a beautiful system where if you just talk to a few people and get your product, you can get your products paid for easily within a month. If you want to do it as a business and actually grow to where, for me, I've completely replaced my nursing supplement or my nursing paycheck on a monthly basis. And it's allowed me to be home with my family so much more. I get to travel with the company and do stuff with my family and take my family with me. It's been an incredible blessing to us. And I would be completely amiss to leave that out because I know if nobody had ever offered that to me, I wouldn't be in this position, and I'd probably still be working my booty off up at the hospital. And I'm super grateful for it. So we want you to know that it's there. We know that it's not for everybody, and that's totally okay. But it is definitely something that I like to mention because you never know who could be praying for an out of their, job or a new passion, honestly. And then lastly, I about put a reaction up here. Lastly, this one just speaks volumes to my heart, and I like to end with it because I think we can all look at this picture and be like, I can totally see myself as somebody inside of me that has goals and ambitions and a desire to do something different with myself. You guys, God made us perfectly. Yes. But he also made us to where we should always be growing. And I think that's really what speaks volumes to me about this picture is this person clearly has something inside of her that she's working every day on to chip away out of what's holding her down from that. And I just love sharing this picture because it's so empowering to me. I love that you guys made time to be here tonight. And I love the fact that you're willing to sit and listen to education and information to learn more about gut health, because really that's where my passion is, to make sure people know how important it is. I do agree. I think Plexus is one of the best companies that I could ever ask to work for. But also, like I said, their supplements actually change people's lives. And I am hands down, obviously a big proponent of that. But what questions do you guys have? I know, Michelle, I think you were able to pop on, but you were just a little bit late. So if I missed something and you have questions about something, I would love to take questions now if you guys have questions. And if you don't have questions, that's okay too. If you are more comfortable, you have questions and you want to put them in the chat, there is a chat down below and you're welcome to ask that here. One thing I never want to be something that makes it feel like we hide is the fact that these supplements, they're $140 a month for just the triplex. But if you break that down to a daily basis, it's $5, you guys. $5. And that one of the things that I always ask people is, we spend $5 on a lot of things on an almost daily basis for things that aren't good for us. And so I always ask my clients, I do nurse coaching now, but I always ask my clients whenever we're talking about supplementation, I'm like, is your health worth $5 a day? And 100% our health is always worth $5 a day, but it definitely is one of those things that we have to make that decision ourselves. So I will tell you, if either of you are ready and to get started, we have a nice bonus because of it being an event. I have coupons to be able to use for you guys to be able to take money off your orders. So for the next 24 hours, we're going to do $15 off your first order. The beautiful thing is the company gives you a nice discount when you first order too. So with the $15 off of your order tonight, and if you do the triplex, your triplex will be less than $100 for all 3 supplements for the first month. And you can jump onto the Whole 30 with us. The Whole 30, not the Whole 30. That's different. Heart 30. Heart 30, that's what I meant. If you want to do the reset box on top of the triplex, that normally the reset box is $90. And then the triplex on top of that, it's $140, but they give you a nice discount and make it about $200. So with the $15 off, it's about $180, about $185 with tax and shipping and stuff. So I'm not shy about talking prices because I'm not ashamed of what our supplements do for people. They change people's lives, and I think it's well worth it. So it's an investment, yes, but you guys are all worth it. So I so appreciate you guys being here tonight. Thank you so much. And if you have questions, please feel free to follow up with Sam. I know it's a little awkward. I'm asking somebody on Zoom that you're not familiar with, and that's okay. But I appreciate you guys being here, and I will leave it up to Sam to kind of chat with you guys. And if you guys have anything that I can help you with, Sam, I'm happy to be put in a conversation with them, whether it be in text or Facebook Messenger. You can just connect me with them. So, all right, guys, have an incredibly blessed night. I will hopefully, oh, Michelle says, if I just do 1 month to see how it is, am I able to cancel? Absolutely, you are. Michelle, I would say, and I'll have Sam talk to you a little bit about this. Anytime you guys do, so let's think about medicine. When your doctor starts you on certain medications, in order to get to a therapeutic level in your body, I'm so glad you mentioned that, by the way, because I normally put this in here and I had forgotten to. When the doctor tells you to come back in 3 months to check your levels, he's wanting to make sure you're at a therapeutic level. So it works the exact same with nutrition. We don't get where we are overnight. We don't start having struggles overnight. And any doctor and or naturopathic doctor, one of my naturopath, this is where I heard it actually. My naturopathic doctor told me once, if you're struggling and you're starting to change something in your supplementation, you need to give it at least 3 to 6 months to really see a big difference. But I will tell you, Michelle, 30 days will give you a bare glimpse of what these supplements will do, but the company has a 60-day money back guarantee. So if by 60 days you're not seeing any changes, you have the ability, no questions asked, to contact the company and you will get your money back. I've had only a few people do it, but I have had them say it was very easy. A lot of times when people get their money back, it's because they're not completely fixed and they had bad, and like they whoever the person was, one of them was me. Let me just tell you that right now. This was with a good dear friend of mine who had rheumatoid arthritis, and was brand new out of the gate. And I told her, this will take away your arthritis, because it does over time. But I didn't give her realistic expectations. And within 2 months, she was detoxing and she didn't know what to do with it. And she was like, I want out of this. I didn't even talk to her about detoxing. So that was totally on me. And since then, she's started the products back up. I am super grateful she was willing to give it another try. But I will tell you, you can absolutely cancel at any point in time. They are very, very good to work with, and they will take care of you. So yeah, long story, sorry. But to answer that, I appreciate you asking that, because that is something I typically like to make sure and mention. Any other questions before I pop you guys off of here? You're welcome, Michelle. Okay. All right, guys, I'm going to leave you to Sam, and I'll let her connect with you later. It was a blessing to chat with you tonight. Thank you for being here. Bye.